and we're going to move on. We're going to move on to the last game. Well, not the last game. We'll get to the other games, but we're not going to really like do a deep analysis on it. But here's the last game we're going to like do a real deep analysis on. And it's my game. It's my team. Timberwolves versus Lakers. So, the Timberwolves. Oh, yeah, by the way, nobody is talking enough about how well the Timberwolves have exceeded expectations. Now, I get it. You know, we're in this sort of realm where we're so fixated on who's going to win the championship. But we have to acknowledge the fact that the Timberwolves traded away their second best player, Karl Towns, all NBA caliber player, mind you. Got back DiVincenzo, Julius Randle, not the greatest thing in the world, but they still stayed afloat. They still were able to win enough games to become the 6th seed. They won nearly 50 games. We have to salute Chris Finch, Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert, all these guys that were doubted. People doubted this team. And it didn't look pretty at first, but as the season progressed, this team got better and better. They're now one of the better offenses in the NBA. And I was reading something where, yeah, Karl Towns is an amazing player. But what trading Karl Towns did, you got DiVincenzo, you got Julius Randle. They want to have it to where it's a 4 out, which is 4 guys behind the 3-point line, and you have one big in the paint, which is Gobert. And with Karl Towns there, although he can shoot threes, he still plays more of that traditional style where you can't go a 4 out and 1 in. So when you look at this Timberwolves team now, with the addition of Julius Randle to a degree, right, and DiVincenzo, they have more shooting capability. So now you can stretch the floor a lot more, and all you have to be concerned about is Rudy Gobert in the paint. So that's why I think they were able to do a lot better offensively, because they run a pace and space offense, which is a lot of driving and kicking. And they run a good amount of pick and rolls. Here's my thing with the Timberwolves and their offense, because I believe the story of this series is going to be the Lakers defense and the Timberwolves offense. They've been really successful offensively with their drive and kick, with their pace and space, but they don't run a whole lot of plays. I was watching their game against the Grizzlies, I believe it was. And, you know, they had a couple of stagger screen plays, you know what I mean? But they don't run a whole lot of plays. And don't get me wrong, the NBA, you're not going to see a whole bunch of plays like it's college. But with them, it is very alarming that they are just like, hey, get pick and roll, drive and kick. That's it. It's not flashy at all. You're not going to see a whole bunch of flare screens. You're not going to see a whole bunch of off-ball movement from Anthony Edwards. And that's my problem with this offense, is that they put so much on the shoulders of Anthony Edwards to create offensively, that against a great team, a great defense, or even good defense, they can key in on that. Because Anthony Edwards is not a great facilitator. He's not a great playmaker. He's not a great passer. He's average at best. So with that being said, I believe this matchup plays into the hands of the Lakers defensively. Because the Lakers, they want to clog the middle, which the Timberwolves like to do a lot of. They like to attack the middle. And the Lakers are going to just clog the middle, prevent the Timberwolves from getting anywhere in the middle. They're going to force Ant-Man to drive to the baseline, which is going to put him in very bad situations. Julius Randle as well. I think Julius Randle, he's going to be the X factor of the series. He's going to have to be the X factor of the series, because the Lakers are going to leave him open a lot of times, and Jaden McDaniels as well, because they're not the best 3-point shooters, and we've seen them in the playoffs just be liabilities offensively. I just think Ant-Man's inability to play make is going to be a huge problem for him, because the Lakers are going to blitz him a lot. The Lakers are going to prevent him from driving in the middle. They're going to put Dorian Finney-Smith. They're going to put Jared Vanderbilt on. They're going to put Roy Hashimura. They're going to put a lot of tall, athletic guys that can move their feet. And it's going to be a huge problem with Ant-Man. And I believe the other guys are going to have to hit their shots. Nikhil Alexander-Walker, I believe he'll hit his shots. But Julius Randle and Jaden McDaniels, I'm not confident in that. And I believe that's going to hurt them a lot. And Rudy Gobert, he is going to be taken out a lot of times because they're going to have to play small ball. The Lakers, what do they do? What are they good at? They're good at playing small ball. And Rudy Gobert, it's not that he's terrible at switching. So let's say, they're switching on defense and Rudy Gobert is guarding Luka, and so now he has to guard Luka on the perimeter. It's not that. It's when Rudy Gobert is taken out of the paint and he has multiple responsibilities that he has to do defensively. So that means he has to be a help side defender. He has to recover, right? That's going to be a problem because he's slow-footed. Because he's like damn near 7'4". He's going to be played off of the court, and that's going to play in the Lakers' hand. And I believe the Lakers, I see them winning in 5. I think this is a perfect matchup for them. The Timberwolves will get red hot from 3, and they'll win one game. But ultimately, I think the Lakers' offensive talent and defensively, I think they have the personnel, and I believe just their game plan just it's going to be too much for the Timberwolves to handle. So give me Lakers in 5.
Okay, Lakers in 5. Okay, Shannon Sharp. I'm going to go Lakers in 6. I do think this series will be a lot closer than people would think because people look at the Timberwolves record like, oh, they're not that good. But like if you actually watch them play, and they had to work through a lot of identity issues on offense, I feel like they started getting it going as the season got progressed. And it's still not perfect. We still got Julius Randle. He could be every now at times, but I do believe Anthony Edwards has gotten much better as an offensive player this year. He's shooting crazy splits for someone that's taking as much shots as he is. And I see a lot of people on Twitter say, "Oh, we're just going to double Anthony Edwards." Stop! Don't do that. Anthony Edwards is the most blitz player in the league, and he's still getting his game off. And you do not want to give the opportunity. I know you say he's not the best playmaker in the world, but he has gotten better than where he was previously. And he will hit the open guys for easy shots. And you do not want to let guys like Nas Reed find a rhythm because those dudes will kill you if you let them get hot game after game after game. And I think a lot of people expect Luka to just straight kill the Timberwolves, which very much is a possibility. He has done well. But let's break down why he's been doing well. Last year, when he was on the Mavericks, still crazy to say, even after all this time after the trade, but they had 2 very paint dominant bigs. They had Derek Lively, and then they had who's the other big they had last year? I can't remember.
It's your boy from he used to play for the Wizards.
Oh, Daniel Gafford. Those dudes was locking down the paint, so it forced a lot of disarray with the Timberwolves offense because they like to attack the paint. Like you said, they like to go attack the middle. And Karl-Anthony Towns wasn't that great during that series. And Luka was able to feast on Karl-Anthony Towns trying to have to go out and contest shooters in the corner while also trying to play in the paint because you just can't leave Daniel Gafford or Derek Lively open. But the Timberwolves play a lot smaller this year, and so they have a little more flexibility on the defensive end to where they don't have to dedicate 2 bigs in the paint at all times because y'all only have Jackson Hayes and LeBron's going to play perimeter. And I'm going to say the X factor for the Lakers is going to be Austin Reeves. I feel like the Timberwolves are going to do their hardest to deny LeBron the ball, and Austin Reeves is going to have to step up as the third ball handler, shot creator in this series, and get some. And especially down the stretch of the games, I believe Austin Reeves probably have to be the most important guy. down the stretch to get a bucket because they're going to throw their best at Luka and LeBron. It might not work, but when Rudy Gobert's playing, you should look at LeBron's numbers against the Timberwolves when Rudy Gobert plays. It's not the greatest in the world. Like, I think the last game he played against Timberwolves, he had 33, I believe. I don't know if Rudy was playing that game or not, but if he was, then hey, everybody, it's LeBron James. He's people's GOAT for a reason. But I believe Austin Reeves is probably going to be the most important piece for the Lakers down the stretch of the game. I think Luka and LeBron will be. You got the numbers pulled up right here. Yeah, see, I don't know if Rudy was playing. I know see 33 right there. Yeah, 33, like 10, 16, like, that's pretty below average for LeBron James. And so I'm saying Austin Reeves, he's gonna have to really step up. He's been doing really good this season. He's probably not even probably. He is the best third option in the league. He would be a high end number 2 on majority of teams. So I do have concerns with the Lakers defensively, though. Luka, he ain't playing no defense. 2025, he ain't playing no defense. LeBron James, he plays defense when he wants to, but I believe I saw a quote about him. Is it his hamstring? He said
it's his hip flexor.
Hip flexor. He was talking about how he could play and all that stuff. So, but he's 40 years old. Like he's obviously going to play it up like he's fine. But he's 40 years old. And I know he's like a super soldier. He has super soldier serum in his body, but eventually you can't be Father Time. And like I said, the Lakers, y'all have Doe and Vanderbilt, but do you really want Vanderbilt playing in like heavy minutes in the playoffs when he doesn't get?
No, he's not going to play heavy minutes. He's not going to play. He's going to play about 10 minutes. He's going to play about 10 minutes.
So I'm very concerned. I feel like this is going to be a shootout type series. And at the end, it's going to come down to who can get the most buckets down the stretch in the fourth quarter. The last 5 minutes, I think the last 7 minutes each game of this series is going to be hectic because it's going to be a band for band off. And I believe the Lakers have more firepower on that end because outside of Ant, who's really creating a whole bunch of shots for themselves on the Timberwolves, So I'm going Lakers in 6, unfortunately.
You said it's gonna be a shootout. I don't know, man. I don't know about that. I might have to disagree with you.
You just said the Timberwolves one of the best offensive teams in the league.
Yeah, I did say that, but there's more context. There's context behind that. Have you seen their schedule since the All-Star break? Have you seen their schedule? It's a lot of
play some teams.
It's a lot of guys. Remember when I showed you that defensive rating for the Nuggets? There's a lot of those teams around that range, defensively wise, that the Timberwolves were facing. Don't get me wrong; they're a good offensive team, but there's some context behind that. There's context behind why they were a great offensive team. And Anthony Edwards,
y'all was in that same range.
Look at this. Averaged 19 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists in 4 games versus the Lakers this season. I'm just saying, man. I'm keeping it 1,000. This is just facts. I like Anthony Edwards, but against the Lakers, he hasn't been the greatest, especially with this lineup, because of the swarming defense that we have, which is protect the middle, don't allow them to go to the middle. I'm telling you, it's going to be difficult for Ant. It's going to be difficult. It ain't going to be a walk in the park. And the other guys, whoever, which is probably either Randall or Jaden McDaniels, they're going to have to knock down their corner threes because we're going to leave them open in the corner, and that is just that. It's just that. I just don't believe that it's going to be that easy for the Timberwolves to generate offense against the Lakers. And I think in this stage with the personnel, this is perfect for LeBron. Hopefully the hip flexor isn't too concerning, but if he's healthy, dog, he's been playing amazing defense this year. And I believe that with the personnel that we have and the fact that Luka and Austin Reeves are amazing playmakers and amazing shot creators, it will allow LeBron to focus a lot more on the defensive end. And what LeBron is great at, he's great as a roamer. He's like a free safety on this defense. And with the way that the Lakers defense has looked before that daunting schedule in March, they were number 2 in defensive rating. So I believe at this point, with health on their side, I believe this defense will be a lot better. And I have Lakers and 5 on this one. I don't know, man. You think it's going to be a high scoring event? We'll see. We will see. But I disagree with you on that one. So yeah, we'll end it on that note.